Welcome to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. I'm, of course, Dr. Cush, along with my barback Kyle. I'm not a real doctor, but I did spend almost 2 decades running some of LA's best bars. After years of teaching classes and training bartenders, I want to demystify the cocktail world for you. Let's try a few new things as I open up my bar to everybody. Belly up, chat, and let's have a drink. Welcome, everybody, to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. I am Dr. Cush. We are here today to make some Allspice Dram. It was a recipe that I did not create. In fact, I had nothing to do with this recipe. This was given to me by the incomparable, the Tikified, the absolute joy of the entire Dr. Cush's Exotic Extended Universe. Oh, gosh, where is she? 1 second. Oh, no. Bon, I just saw you that you were here. Dang! Well, we just missed out on Bon Bon. Anyway, wait. 1 second. There it is. She said, hi, Moose. That's what I got for her. Bon Bon sent me this recipe from the Cocktail Dudes. I figure this is a great time to start in on making a little bit of some Allspice Dram. We often talk about Allspice Dram as Christmas in a bottle. All of this winter season that we got going on right now. This is a perfect thing to make and give out to the people. Lantern. Oh, that lantern? Thank you. I think it turned on and turned off. Oh, Kyle just yelled lantern at me. Thank you, Kyle. Cush, a button-up shirt. Thank you. I'm working. I'm heading to a party right after this as well. Unfortunately, this is party season for me. Speaking of party season, I'm sure that you are being invited to parties right now. I guarantee some of you at least are going to some parties at some point. And what a better thing to bring. Everybody's going to bring fruitcake. Every person on earth is going to bring fruitcake. That's the joke that I've never actually had fruitcake. I wish more people would bring fruitcake so I can decide whether or not I like it. But you can do something different as long as you got 5 days. So plan ahead. As long as you got 5 days, you can make this Allspice Dram. We're going to be making this today, and then we're going to be making a cocktail with some Allspice Dram that isn't homemade, and then we will be comparing this once this is done in 5 days, which, funny enough, Thursday. So we'll probably be doing some Allspice Dram cocktails on Thursday as well. So that's what we're up to today. Before we get too deep into making this stuff, let me say hello to our good friends that join us at the bar all the time. Tiki Tom Hubbard. Tiki Tom Hubbard, are you going to be making this with me? I think this might be a fun thing for Tiki Tom to have. The cocktail we're making tonight is called the Lion's Tail, and it is a bourbon cocktail or a whiskey cocktail. I don't have bourbon. I have rye tonight. So it's a whiskey cocktail. So hopefully, Tiki Tom, you got something like that. Let me say hello to our good friend Moose. Moose. There we go. Bon Bon is waiting in the parking lot. Waiting in the parking lot. Oh, she's going to a sound bath. In case anybody was wondering what was going on. She's got too much noise on her, so she's got to get that noise washed off somehow. And I guess a sound bath is the way to do it. Let me say hello to Shawnee Panabaker. Good evening to old Shawnee Panabaker. Always a pleasure, pal. Never a chore. Amy Beer is here with a good evening to you all, so accept that. Please accept Amy's good evening, all. Otherwise, rude. Don't be rude to Amy Beer. Amy did not buy a bottle of this stuff last weekend, so she can have it by next weekend. Unfortunately, there's going to be a 2-week delay on that. I assembled a new batch of falernum. Have a tiny bit left for comparison. That's pretty good. Love that. There's Jay Carter, party starter. Well, he's got a whole thing. 1 second. Good to see you, Jay Carter, party starter. Jay Carter's been with us for a long, long time. Jay Carter, do you remember people like Cozy Mom? Jay Carter's been with us for, I think, long enough that he might remember Cozy Mom. Do you remember also, Jay Carter, Source? Source is back. Or at least a little bit. Source is back. Stephanie Husband. Oh, fun news, Stephanie Husband. For a while now, all the places that I've looked for have been out of Karuba. So we've been here with the Karuba. Not anymore, Karuba. We got the leader, so we are good. The husbands are here, so we will rip this off. And we will stick it on this one. So thank you to the husbands for sponsoring the bottle of Karuba. You now have sponsored a much larger bottle of Karuba. You have extra space back there. If you guys can find liter versions of your bottles and want to send them to me, I will accept that, and then you can have large space like the husbands. Winners of the 2024 Cush Tucky Derby. DC Debbie Clark, winner of the 2023 Cush Tucky Derby. We got nothing but Derby winners in here tonight, and a lot of Derby participants. Who else we got in here? Richie the Whiff is here. Hello, Richie the Whiff. We will be using nutmeg, Richie the Whiff, and almost no whiffing cubes. So that affects how you want to stick around. We like to have you, obviously. Richie the Whiff always knows something about something. But we will be using a lot of nutmeg. We know that Richie does not like nutmeg. It's even written in the recipe that was sent to me. That Rich doesn't like nutmeg. That's how very specific this is. Let me say hello to Paul Bellamaro. Paul Bellamaro, I've received your text. I will get you. Listen, it's been busy. I will get. We will see each other this week. I promise. Still have Dr. Cush's bourbon. I will be there. I promise. Dougie G is in the place to be. Howdy to Dougie. We got Mrs. Tiki Tom is making orgeat, I think, whatever the almond stuff is, but not amaretto. That is orgeat. That is correct. Mrs. Tiki Tom, that is great. Karuba, we need to get some out on the East Coast. No doubt about it. We got to figure it out. I don't know how to do that. I don't have that power yet to magically make the laws of of alcohol in the world, or specifically the United States, just disappear. I don't have that power yet. But remember, when I won for president, that's all I'm going to be doing. I don't know how long this is going to take. I don't have all the time in the world, so let's get right into it. We are going to be making a homemade version, originally created by the Cocktail Dudes, adapted by one of, if not the best mascot for Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks, Bon Bon. We're going to be making her version of some Allspice Dram. Now, Allspice Dram has been around for a long time. A long time. It comes from out of the Caribbean, where they call it things like Allspice Dram. That's easy. They also call it things like Pimento Dram. Pimento Dram. Basically the same thing. I am still having a difficult time figuring out when it is an allspice and when is it a pimento. And I think I've come to a conclusion. Nobody wants me to know. And so I'm not going to look into it anymore. Just sometimes it's called Allspice Dram. Sometimes it's called Pimento Dram. And nary the two shall mate. This stuff works incredibly well in stuff like tiki cocktails. Absolutely. Cocktails like the Nui Nui. You can't make the Nui Nui without a little bit of this stuff. 3 dots and a dash. You got to have a little bit of this stuff. Absolutely imperative. There are other brands. Probably the most famous is the St. Elizabeth's Allspice, but Hamilton's makes a very nice Pimento Dram. Lots of people make this stuff, but after this little demonstration, you will also make this stuff. So it's delicious, and it should be shelf stable. It does take 5 days, and we are not going to be doing a 5-day stream. So we're going to be doing the first half of it now, and then we're going to be finishing it in 5 days. And then we'll cram them all together as one video. That's the idea. Let's get into what we need. All right. We need, what do you think? Allspice? Yes, we do. Look at all that allspice. Oh my gosh. We need 3/4 of a cup of allspice. We are also going to be needing some, let's just find everything. We're going to need some peppercorns. These are peppercorns. I think these are peppercorns. These are just black pepper. Is black pepper different than black peppercorns? I hope not. Either way, we're making it with black pepper, but the corn ones. Let's hope. I did not go to culinary school. We're going to need some star anise right there. We're going to need some of this guy. This is whole nutmegs. This is not Richie the Whiff's favorite thing, we've learned. We are going to need some vanilla bean. We got some vanilla bean all ready to go there. We're going to need a little bit of cinnamon right there. Cinnamon stick cinnamon. We're also going to need some cacao nibs. I had a little allspice berry that I wanted to, or a little nutmeg berry that I wanted to sacrifice to this little thing, and now I can't find it, so we're going to have to figure something else out. Dang it. I was really excited about getting rid of that. That's gone now. Anyway, there's probably other things that we're going to need, but let's, I'll talk to you about them as we get in there. We got to start by getting out some aggression. That's important. We're going to start over here with this guy. This is called a bag. This is, I believe it is, it's not a Ziploc brand bag, but it's a Ziploc style bag. It is just a bag, reusable. You know, if you don't put anything nasty in there, it's probably reusable. And we are going to fill this bag up with some contents. Right over here, we have 3/4 of a cup of allspice berries. Can I recommend something to you? I did a little price comparison on what a bottle of Allspice Dram costs versus what this would cost. Some St. Elizabeth's Allspice Dram. The St. Elizabeth's Allspice Dram at the liquor store that I buy most of my liquor at is $28.99. The bottle of Gosling's 151 that I'm going to be using is $23.99, which means that at first I thought we need to now only spend $4 on all the ingredients, and vanilla bean itself is $4 if we want to make this an economical situation. But then I read the rest of the ingredients, and we're actually going to be tripling the amount of liquor, or the amount of stuff as in this. So we're going to be actually making 3 times that, what the St. Elizabeth's is, with the ingredients we have. So if I can recommend, in order to make this go nice and cheap, on Amazon, they will sell you almost all of this stuff. I don't always love sending people to Amazon as opposed to away from small spice shops in your area. But it turns out I live in a fairly big city, 2nd or 3rd in the nation. I mean, population-wise, my county is the largest. But I couldn't find a spice shop. I can't find a small-time spice shop. So if you can go to a small-time spice shop, please go to that. We don't need Amazon taking over everything. But it is very difficult to get not cheap. It's very difficult to get cheap spices from like Kroger. That's no fun. We're gonna take this. Dump it in. This is our allspice berries, completely whole, completely together. Smells like Christmas. I imagine that's what Santa Claus smells like. Now, I have a father. I think you guys have seen my dad before. My dad looks like Santa Claus. He has a thick white beard. He's got the white hair. He is, let's say he is not so much happy as he is jolly. I think we know what that means. And unfortunately, I am starting to see all this good patina coming into my beard, and I'm realizing that at some point in my life, I will have to play Santa Claus. And I'm okay with that. I think I'm looking forward to that day when I am forced, when I am tapped to put on the red suit and have my belly jiggle like a bowl full of jelly. I feel like I'll be good about that. I won't fight it. But I do have some plans for it. Definitely I'm going to smell like Allspice. So, and not any of the other Spice Girls. So I don't know what the rest of them smell like. Okay, let's get into the rest of this. This is black pepper. I assume they're the same thing as peppercorn. I don't know. We need 20 of these. Let's get down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What was 4? That's 10, 12. That's plenty. 20. We're gonna go ahead and put in our peppercorns. 20 peppercorns right into here. Now, before you even start, if you're stressing out about gifts and all that stuff right now, and what you need is to really get some of that aggression out, boy, do I have the thing for you. Go ahead and grab a large, heavy thing, something heavy, so you don't bust up your bar. Put something underneath it, and then start absolutely bashing the living berry out of these little circles. I think we should bring in Smash Cam. Smash Cam! We did it. Okay, I can hit stuff. Does that make me a bartender? Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Mrs. Tiki Tom, you're a bartender already. You are ready to go. You're hitting stuff. You're doing all the right stuff, and that's what we want. Look at how this is now smashed. That's what we want. We've done it. We've done the correct thing. Unfortunately, this bag is no longer reusable. I don't know what's to do about that. I don't love using these bags one time. I think I've used this bag 3 or 4 times already, but here we are. Fortunately, now there's a bunch of holes in it because of the beating that it just took. Either way, this is a liter jar. We want something like a liter jar. And we're going to pour our very cracked and beat up little peppercorns and a lot of allspice in there. Looking real good there. The bag smells great. As long as I suppose, as long as you don't need to hold any liquid in there, it'll do just fine. All right, this is what we need. We need the rest of these ingredients to just sort of fall in line in here. Let's get them going. We're going to find our cloves. Cloves, not clothes. 1 second, I have the recipe right here in front of me now. I can't see anything. There we go. There we go. All right, this right here is our good friend cloves. Cloves. Oh, cloves are adorable. Very, very cute. They look like teeny tiny little banyan trees growing around. We don't need these ones all cracked. Cloves obviously have a lot of big flavor already, so we don't need to be cracking these. If you want to split them in half, you can, but don't worry too much about it. We're going to get 15 of them out here. Let's see. How many did we do? 1, 2. Yes, come here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And I'm not putting this one back, so we are going to be doing just a touch more cloves than what need be. We're going to drop it in here. Goodbye, you tiny cloves. You're making some allspice dram. Cinnamon stick. Let's get a cinnamon stick going. Calls for a 3-inch cinnamon stick. Now, you can, I suppose, just throw in, I think that's about 3 inches, right? How big is a finger? Finger size. Right there. Oh. Finger size. Boop. Right there. Looking good. You can just throw that in. I always like to give the cinnamon stick a little crack. There we go. Drop both pieces in there. That's good. Smelling very, very nice. Really, really is smelling very good. Now, next thing we're going to be putting in here is going to be some cacao nibs. Cacao nibs. If you've ever been looking for chocolate and absolutely ran into cacao nibs, you know how very disappointing these things can be. You think they're chocolate. They certainly smell like chocolate, but apparently nibs is, it must be like a German word meaning disgusting, because they are not very good. I don't know much about, I spoke a little German for a while. I don't remember nibs meaning disgusting, but that's what we got. We don't need a lot. We need 1 tablespoon. Now, if you, like me, do not have a tablespoon indicator at your bar, just remember that 1 tablespoon, of course, equals half of an ounce. So we're going to go ahead and grab one of our teeny tiny European style jiggers. We're going to fill up half of an ounce of nibs. These are cacao nibs. Spilling a little. That's pretty good. Cacao nibs. Cacao! Put the rest of that in there. I assume that the cacao nibs are in there to give us that little chocolatey flavor without making this taste overly sweet. I think you can get into some real trouble real quick if you are over sweetening this thing, because we will be adding a ton of simple syrup at the end. Not for this part, but at the end. Okay, cracked nutmeg. Dang it. I thought maybe if I set it like Beetlejuice, it would show up, but one of them has run away, and now it's gone forever. We need cracked nutmeg. We're going to be using this little guy right here. Now, we're only looking for half of a cracked nutmeg. All right, so don't be using too much of this stuff. What do you think? Do you think there's going to be a way I can crack a nutmeg? Let's try. Oh, it cracked! Oh, it cracked! Look! Oh, 1 second. I gotta hit it one more time. Oh my god! Oh my god! It just exploded. Okay. Whew. I thought that was going to be much tougher. I've never actually cracked a nutmeg before. Apparently, this is something I've learned. Little tips and tricks. If you just hit a nutmeg 4 times, it'll explode open. So that's good for everybody to know, I think. We're going to go ahead and put in a little bit of nutmeg. Not the whole thing. Just a half a nutmeg. We do want our good friend, Richie the Whiff, to still come over to our house. He does not like nutmeg. We know that about him. Doesn't like nutmeg. He likes to build things, Star Wars things specifically. That's what we know about Richie the Whiff. And he has a cat. Ooh, my goodness, that smells delicious. Okay, let's bring up our recipe one more time. Let me just see real quick. I was just saying to Michael the same thing. What were you saying? Oh, yes. There are some people that are suggesting look in the Hispanic aisle of the grocery store for small bags of spices. Absolutely. Those ones that have the paper on the top and the plastic at the bottom. Those are awesome. Those are awesome. And they're, for some reason, I don't know what the economic reason is that they have those. Plus, here's a little tip. If you guys have a little brand called Hecho and Mexico, like popsicles. They're like $1, and they are the best popsicle. The Oreo ones, amazing. I could not find, unfortunately, any of the versions of these spices that we needed today. Sounds like a mortar pestle. Sounds like a job for a mortar pestle. It would have been good. I don't think you want them. I think it's more important that we got a little frustration out. Broke a bag. We did the whole thing. I think we're in a good spot. Okay, let's bring the recipe back up so I know what I'm doing. Okay, now we are going to throw in 1 star anise. Even if you don't like anise or whatever the hell we're calling this these days, even if you're not a big fan of absinthe or whatnot, do put this in. The absinthe smell will add just a little bit of sweetness to this. It'll give you kind of like a rounded out sweetness, and you'll be in a good spot. This is where this thing goes off the rails. I believe that this thing was like $10. It is 1 vanilla bean, and I'm tired of paying crazy amounts for vanilla beans, and I'll tell you why. My favorite flavor is vanilla. I love vanilla. I love the flavor of vanilla. This one just cracked. What? It's like an old vanilla bean. Oh no, we're in some trouble. Well, we're gonna have to figure it out. Vanilla apparently is, for a lot of people, just means plain. Plain. Oh, you want vanilla ice cream? You don't want flavor in your ice cream? Vanilla is a flavor. It's a very difficult flavor to extract. It is a very tough flavor to get out. And thus, it really should get more, it should get more appreciation. Or else, it should be less expensive. It can't be hated and be expensive. You get to choose one. I'd be happy to pay for expensive vanilla if, in the end, it was everyone's like, oh, you like vanilla? Oh, what a connoisseur. Oh, what a bon vivant, a man about town. You're out there with your vanilla, your very fancy vanilla, pal. What a way to go. But instead, I'm paying a crazy amount for vanilla, and still nothing to happen with it. Okay. Apparently this vanilla bean has seen better days. I just bought it, and apparently that's, we're in some trouble. All right, well, we're going to try and crack this open. What I'm trying to do right now, let's put it on top of the thing. Where's your mortar and pestle god now? We're going to slice this right down the middle. Hopefully we got a little bit of juice still in there. We're going to crack it open. Definitely get it all over our hands and fingers. Oh yeah, there's some juice in there. Heck yeah. We're going to scrape this vanilla bean out. We want all that vanilla scrapings from the inside out. Once it's scraped, just drop the bean in there. Find a little bit more scrapings over here. Oh yeah, look at that stuff. Oh boy, oh boy. Vanilla is my favorite. I always, in the kitchen, back of the house, I always have vanilla sugar being made in case, and you would think that this would never happen, but it's happened to me more than once, in case there is a creme brulee emergency and somebody, in order to just get through their day, needs a little creme brulee, I always have vanilla sugar ready to go. All you do is you take a spent vanilla pod, throw it into some sugar, and then just keep refilling the sugar once you have done, or once you've taken some out, and it will continue to vanilla that sugar. And you should, I don't think you should need to change the vanilla bean out. Mine's been going for like 5 years. Still doing pretty good. We're going to take this. We're just going to scrape all that out. Maybe this camera angle. I don't know. Unfortunately, I can't. Maybe I'll do it this camera angle, but with my bad hand so I can slice my little fingers off before this all starts. There we go. We're scraping all of that inside, and we're dropping that in there. That, my friends, is the expensive part. Ooh, boy, it smells good, though. Let me just see what the people are saying. Lulu and I went to Vanilla Farm in Tahiti and now know why it's so expensive. Very labor intensive. That's exactly right. We need to give these poor vanilla farmers their just desserts. Only desserts for them. Let me just make sure. Let me just check my the recipe that was sent to me. Okay, so we got allspice, we got peppercorn, we got whole clove, cinnamon stick, cacao nibs, cracked nutmeg. Sorry, Rich, I use more than half. That's the thing. 1 small star anise and a split vanilla bean. Scrape the vanilla paste and add everything to the jar. Great. Now we are going to add the extracting agent. The extracting agent is going to be 151 proof liquor, preferably rum. I say definitely rum if you if you can. If you can only do something like Everclear, this might not be the, maybe do something else then. Find a rum, 151 proof, or something high proof. You want to do Ray and Nephew, I think that'll be fine. I think that comes in at 126 proof. We need something in the high, or the middle 100s. Something between 120 150. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to extract all of the stuff out. With all of this alcohol, we're going to be able to extract out this stuff much faster than if we just let it sit in like 80 proof vodka or 80 proof rum. Some of the stuff would extract faster and some of it would extract much slower, and then you would have uneven flavors. This way, we should be in a good spot. I'm using Gosling's. This was a conscious decision. And it wasn't because the only 151 had. They had other 151. Shawnee Panda Baker over here says uses Ray and Nephew. That's a great one too. Ray and Nephew, of course, a Jamaican style overproof white rum. This guy is coming out of out of Bermuda. It's a Bermudian rum, Bermudian rum. I know the flavor of Gosling's pretty well. I know the flavor of a lot of these rums pretty well, but I know the flavor of Gosling's pretty well. So for my first batch, I wanted something that I have used before and something that I can see what the rum has added to it versus if I'm using, you know, like I could have used this 151, this Hamilton 151. Absolutely. I don't know this Hamilton 151 as well as I know Gosling's. I've been using Gosling's. I've been drinking Gosling's for a long time. So I wanted to see what it was. Also, it's cheaper. So just in case this doesn't work out, I have every confidence in the world that Bon Bon would not steer me wrong. But in case this doesn't work out, we're using a cheaper rum so that we can get it going. But we're going to take this whole 750 milliliter bottle and we're just going to dump this guy in here. And there we go. We've done it. We've killed another bottle. This has been a very, very productive bottle killing season for me. We're going to tighten this guy on. And as the instructions say, put it somewhere that you're going to see it. And then every time you see it, give it a shake. All right? Give it a shake. Walk away. You don't see it for a little bit. And then you'll see it later. Give it a shake. Oh, there's a little leakage going on here. This is not ideal. Well, hopefully we'll be okay. It's just, well, I don't even have anything to wipe it down. There we go. Okay, give that a little shake. There we go. Obviously, shaking, what the shaking is doing, it's increasing surface area, finding new places for the liquor to touch and be able to get in there and pull everything out. That's what we're doing. What do we got? Okay, so let's make a cocktail. We are going to be making a cocktail now with Allspice Dram. Obviously, we can go the route. Oh, there's one. One second. Obviously, we can go the route of, say, the Nui Nui. Some of these great tiki cocktails that use this very, very nice liqueur. Very, very nice dram, which comes, do we all know where the word dram comes from? Dram comes from the Scottish term drachm. Drachm. We don't think of the Scots as having that. But drachm. And a drachm is a pour of liquor. So it's a very nice pour of liquor. That's where it comes from. Anyway, we're gonna be making a cocktail now that is not a tiki drink, because I want you guys to see that this stuff, this Allspice Dram, even if you're not into making 30 ingredient drinks, you can make this stuff. You can replace this stuff in sort of anything and have a very nice version of a very nice Christmas version of a lot of cocktails. So what we're really making is a whiskey sour. But we're going to be putting in a little bit of the Allspice Dram. Not this one. We're going to be using one that we already have made here. We're going to be putting that in, and we're going to be making it very Christmassy. It is called the Lion's Tail. It seems... Uh-oh. We are out of shakers, too. My goodness, I did not really prep for this show at all. You know what? We'll stir it. We'll stir it. We're okay with stirring. Let's get into it. We are going to be starting over here, since we're stirring this one. We're going to stir vigorously. We're going to bring in our little disco ball. And let's pour. Let's find our ingredients. The first ingredient we're going to be putting in here, cheapest ingredient first. I made an awful lot of lime juice, lime pseudo juice recently. It was labor intensive and it was drank up in a night. So very nice that people like the lime juice. Very annoying to have to do it again. Simple cocktail, half an ounce of some lime juice. It's a sour, so we do want half an ounce of some simple syrup. This is just a regular old 1-to-1 simple syrup. This is the stuff that I keep in the Frank's Red Hot bottle. Half an ounce of just some regular simple syrup. Great. Oh, 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 Cameron Crowe. Let's find our allspice. I probably should have done that before I started this whole class. Let me just duck down here. Oh, we got some. This is the St. Elizabeth's Allspice Dram. It is I should probably start putting stuff up like this so that it gets nice light, right? Maybe. I gotta learn how this works. This is St. Elizabeth's Allspice Dram. St. Elizabeth's Allspice Dram, probably the most famous of the Allspice Drams. I know that people will come and say, "Oh, I've been using this one for forever." Yeah, that's fine, but is it the most famous? You know, it might not be your favorite. Hamilton has an amazing Pimento Dram that is certainly more rum forward. Let's see. Does it say what's in this one? From its origins in the tropical hills and valleys of Jamaica, the allspice berry has generations been prized for its exceptional taste of clove, cinnamon, and nutmeg. We put all that stuff in there. And pepper note that dazzles the palate. The allspice liqueur, known as a classic cocktail as Pimento Dram, brings together fine pot still rum. Okay, so there's rum in this one. Now, allspice berries of Jamaica. Enjoy St. Elizabeth's Allspice Dram and classic cocktails, wassail, and other punches, mulled wine, continental, and island cuisine. Great. So this is made with rum. That's what I'm saying. If you, we talked about it a minute ago, if you were going to decide to make the Allspice Dram, the homemade Allspice Dram, without using 151 rum, you might be in for some garbage. We need half an ounce, just half an ounce. This stuff is absolutely an invasive ingredient. I can make this just a touch brighter. It seems dark, right? Yes. No, that's darker. How's that? Is that better? Does it look the same? Yeah, that's better. There we go. Win those awards. Half an ounce of some Allspice Dram. I'm excited about making my own Allspice Dram because while it is kind of expensive, and it does take some time. 5 days is... I will often see something that takes 5 days and say, well, that might as well take 1,000,000 days, because I'm not going to do it. It might as well take infinity days, because I'm not going to do it. This time I decided we would do it. You know, I have a show. I got to get this stuff done. And what's nice about it is you don't use that much allspice dram in anything. And thus, once I've done this once, I imagine, unless I'm going to go out and give it as gifts to everybody, I don't really need to do this at all for like the year. So I'll get through all of my Christmas cocktails, all of my holiday cocktails, and then I'll come back and just do it again. I make it a little Christmas tradition. This is what we're putting in here. Now, the lion's tail, I believe, is normally a bourbon drink. This is bonded rye, but it's also Jack Daniels. Jack Daniels has a little bit of sweetness to it. We all know that's that good sweetness that Jack carries with it, being a sour mash. But this is the rye version. Figured it would be nice. I love Jack. Jack reminds me of breaking rules in college. Let's go ahead and put in 2 ounces of a nice whiskey, something that is American rye bourbon, even wheated if you want to put a little bit of Maker's Mark in there. But 2 ounces of this. Great. Boink. Oh, Cameron Crowe. If you make a movie, then I'm gonna go. Shawnee Panabaker says he heard their rye is awesome. It is awesome. Jack Daniels, for some reason, people give Jack Daniels a really difficult time. It is, I would say that Jack Daniels, I'll say something. Why don't I say something? Why don't I say something controversial? Jack Daniels is the Stephen King of liquors. Stephen King, in my opinion, is the most overrated and somehow the most underrated writer of all time. Absolutely, Stephen King is the most overrated writer of all time, but also, he's a brilliant writer, and somehow he is also well underrated. I mean, my goodness, he's got some great books. He also writes a lot of pulp, so he's overrated, but he's also underrated. Jack Daniels, the same kind of thing. Jack Daniels, no matter where in the world you are, a little Jack is never going to hurt you. Yes, some people can roll their eyes. It's a little sweet. It's a little sweet. That's fine. It's a sour mash. It's supposed to be a little sweet. It's fine. It works in a lot of things. Yes, it tastes just like Jack Daniels, so sometimes it's tough to like separate yourself from that. Is this a Jack drink versus a whiskey drink? Yeah. But that's kind of cool too, that you have a whiskey that you can definitely always taste. You know, sometimes I'm having a little bit of an Old Forester, and then someone's like, "Oh, do you want to try the Woodford instead?" And I say, "Well, same mash bill, same kind of location. Don't those kind of taste the same?" Pretty similar. Jack Daniels, you can always pick it out. Now, Shawnee Panabaker is proving my point. Not a fan of the old number 7, and that's okay. A lot of people don't like Stephen King, but you can't deny that mother effer. That's a mother from Maine. That Maine farmer. That dude can absolutely write a book. Go ahead and throw our ice right in there. And because we're not shaking, not for the cocktails. It's not the cocktails fault we're not shaking it. The cocktail's doing just fine. We are going to be stirring this cocktail. We're going to be stirring it nice and fast and for long because this cocktail has a little lime juice in it. We want to really get the... we want to get some of that water broken up in there. So we're going to be... Oh, there we go. Oh, that's a much better shot now that it's bright. It was so dark a minute ago. I don't know if you guys can even tell. Kind of looks like an office building now. Maybe we'll split the difference. Oh, that's okay. Maybe right there. Maybe that's what I want. It's got a little moodiness to it. There we go. We've melted some ice. The bonded Jack Daniels 100 proof is pretty good. Yeah, I'm saying, as long as you're not turned off by horror by some scary stuff, then Stephen King is those are great books. They're really good books. As long as you're not turned off by a little taste of Jack, that sour mash sort of sweetness, you're in a good spot. You're in a good spot with some Jack. Jack does do good stuff. Gosh darn it. I've done nothing right today. Normally we want to serve this in a nice frosty glass. We don't have a nice frosty glass. We're running around all over the place. We're going to pour this out. Oh, Cameron Crowe. Pour this guy right in here. Beautiful. It's a whiskey sour. That's all it is. It's a whiskey sour that has some of its sweetness and some of the booze are coming from that Allspice Dram. That's what we got in front of us. A very, very lovely cocktail using the Allspice Dram. So if you made the Allspice Dram in 5 days, I suggest making this cocktail with it. We know what a whiskey sour tastes like. Use a whiskey that you know, that you understand, and from there you should be good. So cheers to you guys. Not a cold glass, but certainly a cold cocktail, and a lot of stuff going on. Oh. My God, I'll tell you about it. The lime, the addition of lime versus lemon is a stroke of genius because there's a lot of sweet going into this. Whether you're using bourbon or Jack or whatever you're using, there's going to be some sweetness going into this thing. Lime is more sour than lemon. So lemons are sweeter than lime. It's just something we know. So the lime is genius. Really nice in here. The simple syrup sort of off-puts it. If you don't want it sweet at all, definitely you could do a 1/4 ounce of the simple syrup. The original recipe calls for a 1/4 ounce of rich simple syrup. I make regular simple syrup, so we just put a little bit of extra water in ours. Same amount of sugar, a little less water. Very nice. Okay. Well, we've done it. We have created the baby. Now we just have to wait for it to be birthed. This is our Allspice Dram using Gosling's 151. That should be ready by Thursday. We will uncork it on Thursday. We will make the rest of it, and then we will make another version of this drink and see if we like it. And then we will have the State of the Bar address on Saturday, and then we will be done. It'll be the end of the year for us. So that is what I got for you guys. Thank you so much for showing up. I know that it is another short show. I promise next week we will have normal length shows for as much as I can. Yeah, we're coming up to the end of the year. If you guys have anything that you want addressed at the State of the Bar address, let me know. I have a number of things that I am going to be doing in the next year to make this a successful, prospering, able to move forward show. If you guys have anything that you think we should be doing more of, or certainly if you have something that we should be doing less of, the State of the Bar address would be nice. Feel free to dress up for it and stand up and clap when I say something that you like. So it's like the real State of the Union address. That's what I got for you guys. Guys, remember, these classes will always remain free. But if you can help out, there's a couple ways you can do it. One of them is I have a Patreon, a PayPal, and a Venmo. That just keeps the bar going. That is the lifeblood of Bardom is being paid for this. That is how this goes. We are sort of just keeping the lights on right now. We are not making bajillions of dollars, but we love doing it so much that we would do it even if we weren't making money. But if you want to help out, that's a great way to do it. If you want to help out in other ways, listen, we have a lovely, ever-growing community of people that show up. Cocktail Lulu just jumped in and just yelled pew pew. Listen, we need more of that. So tell your friends, tell everybody that you can to come watch the show. We do classes Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and et cetera, et cetera. Invite them in, introduce them to the people, and then they will become a fan for life, we hope. If you can't do that, the best and absolute best way you can do it is show up. Like I said, we do classes Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays here at Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. Definitely definitely join things like the exotic After Hours, Dr. Cush's Exotic After Hours, because that is where the real bar is happening. You can go see all the people over there. All you have to do is answer one question, and that question is, who is Dr. Cush's assistant? And then I'll let you write in. Oh, careful. That's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much, and we will see you next time. What do we always say at the end of this thing? When the thing is working, we always look each other right in the eye, and we say things like, oh, I don't know. We would say things like,
Are you Dr. Jinga Janga?